Hi, welcome to the Spirit the Beyond Files.
Ready to question reality? You're in the right place.
Let's dive in.
Y'all, this conspiracy is wild. So if you're a 90s baby like me, you remember Space Jam. And in a particular scene, Michael Jordan, he stretches his arm out and does a dunk. Okay, so why is this real? Like, this man does this in real life. It was caught on camera. This is MJ. You may have not seen it, so let's slow it down. And you can actually see right here, it elongates. Like, his forearm gets extremely long and thin. It distorts. Like, do you see this right here? He grabs the ball right here, and you see a long and thin, like, he can shapeshift, and it still looks crazy. And then he brings it back, and his arm goes to a normal shape again. Okay, so is Michael Jordan a shapeshifter? What is going on?
I never watched Space Jam.
You haven't watched Space Jam?
No, I didn't. But that is weird. There's something alien about Michael Jordan.
Yeah, and sometimes they put things right in front of your face, and it's actually real.
It's no wonder they say we're on the verge of a historic storm, because where I live, this has been the skies. Like the past week, this is ridiculous. I'm also amazed that people think that this is normal. That's not normal. Not at all.
But those are just jet exhausts, right?
No. And what we're going to play next is going to possibly tie into this.
The entire Midwest is being absolutely destroyed right now by everything you can even think of. Tornadoes are just destroying neighborhoods, fire, smoke. We'll get back to the tornadoes. By the way, which system is moving all the way to the East Coast in 1 minute? So this was Oklahoma at 7 p.m. This is all that they see. And it's not just a sandstorm and wind. Now there's like 3 or 4 different states that are all on fire right now. And funny and completely irrelevant news, one of the commenters told me that Google had just bought a whole bunch of land in Oklahoma. Did you see that giant tornado right behind me? Again, completely irrelevant. Just wanted to show you guys that what you're seeing right now is the radar from today, March 14th. Not related though, I thought it was cool. And this right behind me, I believe is Tulsa, Oklahoma. This is what it normally looks like right here. And that's what it looked like today. And the thing, people still have the nerve to try to say this stuff is normal. People that don't live here say it's normal, but the people that do live here, they say it's not normal. My friend had to evacuate just a few hours ago. The Villa Ridge in Missouri, the entire place destroyed. And the crazy part about this right here, what you're seeing right behind me, the same exact system is moving all the way to the East Coast. So yeah, it'll go over all of our different states.
It's not there!
Why do y'all think it's so bad? Let me know your thoughts below.
This isn't normal. Anybody that lives in these places know it's not normal for Myrtle Beach to catch on fire. It's not normal for these weird fogs. It's not normal that we're being sprayed to death.
Yeah, we can't ever have just one nice sunny day. If you look up, you will see the lines. And just watch it over time because it does spread out.
I just had a micro tornado come through and rip all my bushes out. We don't get tornadoes in central New York. What the hell?
It ain't right.
Something strange is happening to the water in the seas. It is getting much farther away from the shores and is not coming back. In this footage, scuba divers were just caught at the moment when the water began to leave sharply. There are reports of the strange behavior of the seas from around the world. This is the empty shore of Thailand. Locals say they've never seen such a low tide. Next, the water moved away dramatically in Crimea and Turkey, and then Spain. The water just moved away from the shores and it's not coming back. Even off the coast of Africa, it's the same anomaly. In addition to tides, fish began to behave strangely. They massively gather in flocks and swim somewhere, and deep water individuals living at a depth of 3 kilometers rising to the surface. But what is the cause of this phenomenon? At first, it was associated with the moon because it affects the tides through gravity, but nothing has changed on the moon. Many suggest that this is all a harbinger of doomsday. Others generally think that something big has woken up at the bottom of the ocean and is causing the anomalies. What do you think is happening to the seas?
Do you think it's moon power? The tides are really connected with the moon.
Because we just had that big supermoon?
Yeah.
Mm,
Do you think the creatures that live in the depths are pulling in the tides?
could be aliens.
Revelations!
Judgment Day!
It is time!
How do y'all not get this? So wait a minute, let's take a step back. You're telling me that it's raining blood in Iran. I don't care if it's iron, magnesium, it doesn't matter how God portrays his image, he just does. Raining symbolic blood in Iran while the major Christian persecution's happening right now in Syria, while we have a blood moon coming in a few days, and how over the last month we've had over 10 bodies of water turn to blood in random places across the earth. So raining blood, water to blood, blood moon, and Christian persecution. If you really, genuinely cannot see what I'm trying to tell you right now, then you are completely cut off from anything spiritual, because this speaks for itself. And by the way, just so you can see a face with the persecution, this is a Christian who was just unalived by decapitation because he would not deny the Lord Jesus Christ. While it is sad and gut-wrenching, we know that he's washing from glory itself. Wake up!
I said it before, I'll say it again. Judgment Day is coming.
Revelation. They're saying it's iron in the water, but isn't that what's in blood?
Yeah, and it's raining that? How?
It looks like bad juju to me. What do you guys think?
What the fuck is this? Rotate 360 degrees. Go to Map Street View. What's this? Do you know what kind of place this is?
Where is that?
Is that the Eye of Sauron?
I don't know. Is that real? Is that an AI photo?
Did I just say Sauron, or is it supposed to be Sauron? I think I just called it an electric motorcycle. But anyway, yeah, we never accounted for lasers for part of this whole weather mod thing.
Really? What is it?
This has got to be the biggest contradiction I've heard in a while. Thousands of acres of protected Amazon rainforest has been cut to build a 4-lane highway for a climate summit. The BBC report that COP30 will be held in the Brazilian city of Belém. So, to ease the traffic for the 50,000 people plus world leaders that will be visiting, they have cleared land 13 kilometers through the rainforest to make way for the new highway. But the question is, what do you guys think?
The math's not mathing on that.
Let's get in our private jet and use lots of gas to go to the place that needs to have roads paved so we can wipe out the rainforest to save the world.
No. See, this is part of the covering up in the skies. Because one of my theories is that there's things up there that they're trying to hide that we can't see.
Do you think that could have been like a refraction?
A what?
You know, like a refraction off of the lens, a lens flare?
Yeah, it could be. Or it's the mothership.
That's not a mothership.
I don't think it's a refraction either.
Wouldn't it be crazy if cave dwellers were snatching Americans from national parks? There are over 1,600 Americans missing via mysterious circumstances who disappeared in national parks. If you look at the map above, all the colored dots, those are the missing people. If you look at the map below, that's the underground cave systems in America. Oftentimes, these people will disappear, like, basically while they're standing right beside their family. Like, young boys go behind a bush, they're gone. So many cases of this. Search dogs will come to abrupt halts, like at the foot of a cliff and stuff, when they're searching for these people. And in the rare instances that they're found, it's often an impossible distance away from where they went missing, in like strange places that make no sense. It seems impossible. Former police officer David Pelias has done multiple stories on this and projects. Check it out for a weekend rabbit hole. And let me know in the comments, is this underground cave people or Bigfoot?
I think the government just let go of a ton of park rangers, national park rangers. So if there's any whistleblowers out there, get a hold of us at tothespiritpod@gmail.com. We'd like to interview you, because we know that there's some crazy stuff that goes on in national parks. And if you're interested in that and you want to deep dive, you probably already know this, but David Pelias does video series and books all on this subject. It's wild and scary.
I'm going to show you while you close your curtains in Appalachia at night. This picture looks pretty innocent at a glance. In just a moment, I'm going to show you a version where I have lightened it up, and I'm going to show you what's standing right over here. This is one of the most common questions I get being from Appalachia. Why do you close your curtains at night? Why don't you answer when something calls your name? Why do you not whistle in the woods? It's right over here. This is why. As you can clearly tell, this picture was taken from a trail camera. On the other one, you could see the date and time at the bottom. But now that I've lightened it up, I want you to really look over here. It may look a little confusing at first, but let me explain it. What you're seeing right here, this white thing, it's hard to tell, but that's actually a coyote, which in itself doesn't seem that scary and weird, because there's lots of coyotes in Appalachia. But what you don't see yet is what's holding it up by its neck. If you will look closely, right up here, you can see this thing's eyes. You can see its eyes glowing in the dark. The person who got this picture, who captured it on their trail camera, said they was able to determine the height based off this shed right here, and they estimated it to be between 8 and 8.5 feet tall. And it has a coyote by the neck. There are not any animals from Appalachia that look like that can hold a coyote by its neck. What is it? That's the question. To be honest, I don't know. Some people argue a Bigfoot, some say a skinwalker. What do you think? Let me know in the comments. I have my theories. I want to know what you think. If you have any kind of paranormal evidence, my email's listed in my bio. Send them my way. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. God bless.
The Appalachians.
What is that, though? What do you think that is? A werewolf?
It's a heebie-jeebie.
You think it's a skinwalker?
Out in the woods.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's scary. I mean, it's just holding a coyote.
But if it was a skinwalker, wouldn't it have taken the form of a coyote?
Yeah, good point.
So it's a heebie-jeebie.
I'll give you the heebie-jeebie for 200. Just want to say thank you to our subscribers. And if you're new to this channel, welcome. If you could just do us a favor and hit that like, subscribe, and that little notification bell, it will really help us grow our channel. And for that, we thank you.
In 2025, we thought we were going to get aliens, but this man went to go walk his dog, and instead he saw a gnome. This gnome is pushing a wheelbarrow. What is happening?
I am so here for the gnomes caught on camera.
We're going all over the place lately. Was that really a gnome pushing a wheelbarrow? Or to me, that was like one of those old ghoulie dolls from the 80s being pulled by a string. I have no idea. It's interesting, though.
Yeah, some sort of the fae.
Yup, this is it for us, as the rich are now eating biblical mermaids, and they are starting a war we cannot finish. People were terrified after a fisherman Landon went viral for exposing that he reeled in something that turned his face pale white, describing the creature as biblical, as it was not only 5 feet tall, gray, had gills all over its face, but half human looking, and it's exactly as the biblical verses describe. And it's happening all over Hollywood right now, hiding in plain sight, and their bodies are being stored inside the celebrity mansions. But it gets worse, as Landon describes huge fishing companies that are marketed as finding exotic fish are actually dedicated to hunting this, using sonar equipment to find mermaids, and their human-shaped bodies are being used for dinner. With the Book of Enoch at 19:2 calling mermaids our fallen angels, and modern Hollywood often being referred to as demonic, many have referred to when demons start eating angels, it will be over for all of us very soon. And if we never hear from Landon again, we will all know he was telling the truth.
Don't eat the mermaids.
Mermaid talk has not slowed down yet. And I don't know if this is true. But if it isn't true, whoever came up with this is a genius and should write a book.
But if it is true, shame on you.
Yeah.
Don't mess with the mermaids. It's probably why the tides are coming in.
You mean going out?
They're going out.
Yeah.
Okay. Hey, it's Glamham with Elites Eating Mermaids Part 2. Here's the thing, I truly thought this was all nonsense, entirely fictional, hence Part 1 linked by this comment, which if you watch, you must watch to the end. But I dove deeper into this and discovered not only have mermaid sightings been reported for centuries, but part of the lore is that their flesh was believed to contain magical properties, granting power and longevity, and that they were apparently hunted down as a delicacy for the elites. Let us begin. In the 2nd century off the coast of Gaul, mermaid corpses washed ashore, scales covering their bodies. At least that's what the governor of Gaul believed when he wrote to Emperor Augustus about mysterious creatures. Why had they washed up? Were they being hunted? Then infamous pirate Blackbeard wrote in his logbook of avoiding enchanted waters, where he and his crew had seen mermaids haunting the seas. During World War II, Japanese soldiers stationed in Indonesia claimed to see manfish or orang ikan with pink skin, human-like faces and spikes along their spines. One even jumped onto a rock before vanishing into the sea, leaving the soldiers stunned. Multiple tourists in Canada claim to have seen a mermaid on the beach, blonde hair, eating raw salmon. A $25,000 reward was offered for her capture, but she was not seen again. At Kiryat Yam Beach, locals reported a mermaid performing tricks in the water at sunset. The Israeli government offered $1 million for proof of her existence. But to this day, no one has claimed the prize. Cut to 2012, Zimbabwe. Workers repairing a dam saw a mermaid underwater and refused to return. Even their replacements were hired and they saw a mermaid and they wouldn't go to work and the dam remains unfinished. So we have historical sightings from many credible individuals, multiple continents, and society's whispers of elites eating their flesh. One has to wonder, are mermaids part of a secret history we're not supposed to know? I'll see you in the comments. Take care.
Usually, if you just want to look better, feel better, you eat fruits and vegetables, you drink your water, and maybe have a nice skincare routine.
Take a multivitamin.
Yeah, get a little bit of sunlight and a good night's rest, but not capture and devour magical mermaids.
I retract what I said before. Mermaids are real, and shame on you for eating them.
Shame on you.
Chaos erupted mid-flight, possibly due to demon possession. So this man's name is Delange Augustin. He's 31 years old, and him and his sister were heading to Haiti to flee spiritual attacks. You're going to hear what this passenger said in a second, but Augustin was yelling, shaking, and stomping his feet before violently kicking a flight attendant in the chest, sending them flying across the aisle into a window. He then destroyed the seat in front of him before attempting to charge toward the cockpit. His sister later claimed he believed Satan's disciples had followed them onto the plane. What's really interesting is Augustin swallowed rosary beads thinking they would protect him, and passengers and the crew worked together to restrain him as the pilots made an emergency return to Savannah, Georgia.
He was talking about devils and possession, and it was like, you have to kind of see it to believe it. Destroyed this other man's seat. Like, he kicked it and punched it and just buckled the seat completely over. He just charged the front doors of the plane, like swinging wildly, a bun in her hair, and he grabbed hold of her bun in her hair, and he grabbed hold of her pants and wouldn't let her go. So they tased him once, twice, 3 times. He still didn't let go. At that point, they had to cut the woman's hair to make him let go.
And was arrested while his sister sang what sounded like hymns.
They were possessed. That was a very, very, very disturbing scene. I've seen a lot of stuff in my life. That was probably the most disturbing thing I've ever seen.
Ooh. Now, do we think this is a case of some sort of possession, or did somebody not take their meds?
And why were they going to Haiti if they were trying to get rid of the demons? Isn't that the voodoo capital? It just seems weird.
Nothing to see right here. Nothing at all. A plane just spontaneously combusted today in Denver, Colorado, at the Denver airport.
Like that. Oh, what happened?
It's on fire.
And this did just happen to be coincidentally not related. It just happened to be a Boeing plane. Again, not really at all, just giving you the manufacturing or manufacturer of the plane. And also completely unrelated 1000%. Did you know that a plane fell out of the sky in Texas earlier today? Yeah, the same Texas that had green fire and explosions happening underground yesterday. I really do wondering what could be happening to all planes in the air in 2025. This picture is purely for entertainment to get your attention. So what do y'all think about this? Do you intend on flying anywhere in 2025? I know it's been literally months, but I am sure that at some point soon you'll get this figured out, right?
You still flying, Rach?
Yeah, you look up the flying statistics though, because honestly, it's still improved tremendously from the past.
Yeah, there's only like 5 planes a day blowing up instead of 1 every year.
No, look it up.
Also, that Mountain Dew thing is pretty interesting. Did you get that reference?
No.
So apparently every time they launch a new Mountain Dew flavor, something catastrophic happens. That was the Maui blast. And after they released that, they had that fire in Maui. Yeah, so they just released a new flavor.
If only y'all knew what they put in the most expensive perfumes and colognes. For example, Baccarat Rouge. Or a lot of the perfumes, which is the female side of the collections. If only y'all knew what they put in these things to make them not only just last a lot longer, but attract other people. Y'all might think, well, it's just really great pheromones and all. No, actually, they put, and let's just say allegedly, right? Because you're not going to find an article saying that, hey guys, we put this in here, obviously, right? But a lot of these perfumes and colognes, you got to be careful, have witchcraft in them. And a lot of the witchcraft that they put in these colognes and perfumes is a drop of blood. And a lot of the times, those drops of blood come from things like babies or like things that are sacrificed, or even demon blood. And so you might think, oh, you're just capping, you're just talking. Source, trust me, bro. Why do y'all think the most expensive colognes are, one, more expensive? Y'all might say, well, it's because of the brand. What do these brands practice? Think of Balenciaga, think of Versace. Think about who they worship and what they practice and the things that they do. Y'all don't think that they put that also in their colognes and perfumes? Think about it. Really think about it. Now, I'll leave y'all with this caveat right here, okay? Think about what they put on these bottles and the guys that they put on these bottles. Like Versace, the guys they put on a Versace bottle. Think about these, and I'm not saying that I think it's the most expensive perfumes in colognes. The ones that have a lot, the ones that are a lot older and have, the ones that are a lot older and they made back in the day and things like that. Those are the ones you gotta watch out for.
There's a lot of hormone disrupting things. Not a doctor, but...
And Balenciaga, they kind of have some scandals going on, so it's not that far-fetched. But why don't you just get hippie like we do and use some natural essential oils?
And there's people who just handcraft on Etsy that make really good fragrances too.
Something going on in Hollywood that we're unaware of. These people don't even look themselves anymore. They act completely bizarre. What is going on? Who is that? Who the hell is that? That is not who I remember that being. Hollywood's got some darkness. Darkness. They're literally all looking like mannequins. These are like robotic AI versions of themselves or something. It's totally freaking me out. You guys feel that? When you're looking at these celebrities? Darkness. No, she didn't. I think she did. I'm not gonna say it. You're thinking it. Honestly, she's given me some, like, Wendy Williams vibes a little bit. You don't think that Tyra Banks is playing Wendy Williams at this point, do you? Because she totally could. And I'm telling you, something doesn't feel right about this woman anymore. Go find this picture on Google and zoom into her eyes, guys. You're not fooling me, Tyra.
She made a return in Victoria's Secret. And everyone's like, oh, look at her. She was so critical to all the models, but she's coming out like this. And then some people said she's beautiful too. But then this happens, and I don't know, that does not look like her.
I don't think she looks like Wendy Williams. She can't be her replacement, but it is weird.
While I was browsing through the internet archives, I stumbled across this old video. It's CCTV footage from 1990. It shows a couple of kids playing in an alley, kicking a ball around, when something bizarre happens. If you're the sensitive type, you might just want to keep scrolling. The event happens here, but I have to show it to you in freeze frames for, well, you know why. Here are the freeze frames of what happened. The next scene is perhaps the most haunting, because it shows a giant gaping hole in the ground where the dumpster made impact. How does something like this happen? The link to the original post for this video was broken, so there was no way to trace it back to its original poster, and no way to find out where it came from. If anybody has any information about this video, please let me know in the comments. I posted the full version on YouTube. I'll leave the link in the comments.
What the hell? How'd that happen?
Some Final Destination shit or something.
Right? You can't outrun it.
No.
A dumpster just falls on you. How'd you go, Bob? Oh, a dumpster just fell on me.
Yeah, it's really disturbing.
Did you hear about a mom in Texas who said her son was murdered and now his body is being displayed at a bodies exhibit in Vegas, and everybody says she's crazy? This is Chris Todd Eric, an athlete from Midlothian, Texas, who sadly passed away in 2012 at the age of 23. His death was listed as self-cancellation after police found evidence of cyanide in his body. His mother, Kim Eric Smith, doesn't believe that. She believes that her son was tortured and murdered by his father and their stepfamily in Texas. Kim says that she was told that her son had been cremated, but after examining the bodies at the Real Bodies exhibit, she believes that Chris's father and his family tried to cover up the murder by donating his body to be displayed in Las Vegas. When you look at the picture of her son and one of the bodies on exhibit, it's a perfect match. Kim says she has evidence that Chris's father's family are murderers, including what she believes are restraint marks across his body shown in the photos from his autopsy, as well as finding Chris's stepmother's name on a government watch list. Even with so much evidence, nobody believes Kim, and they're saying that she's going crazy after the loss of her child. What do you think of this story? Leave a comment to let me know. I'm Tierica with the T. Follow for more.
This needs to be looked into. Come on.
Yeah, anybody. Help her out.
The most intelligent computer in the world, called Google's neural network. And it has a deep fake detector program that's never been wrong. You can feed it a video of Biden or Trump. It'll tell you in 1 second whether it's real or not. They fed it pictures of the surface of the moon from the unmanned Chinese probes from 2014. Said they're real. Every Apollo picture it said was fake. It had a fake backdrop. It was taken in a television studio. That's the most intelligent computer in the world that can understand the pixels. One of them, it suggested that this wasn't even a full-size lunar module, that it was a miniature. And that's how they were able to do wide landscapes, because one of the astronauts' figures, the AI said, was a miniature because the footsteps shadows weren't normal the way a person would walk, that they were stamped in there with a fake footprint.
If you are a believer and you choose to believe, I don't know what to say. But if you're a skeptic like us, I just want you to take a look at the footage that Elon just dropped, picking up those astronauts that have been stranded forever. Look at the footage of them coming back from rescue. Her hair had gray in it, and it's all dyed and done. It was crazy. I don't know who was hairstyling up in space and didn't know they had hair dye. They were only supposed to be there for 9 days, but they were there for 9 months. So there's something really weird with all this.
Yeah, even if you've always believed everything was real, you got to have some healthy skepticism and look into it.
Something's off. At least we could admit that, right?
Right. You guys can admit that too, right?
Right.
Right.
One I will bring up, the cats are interesting. The cats are different. Remember, everything is energy. The dogs rely on smell, but the cats can see things we can't see. They said when they look at you or look at another person, they don't see you first. First they see an energy. Then it forms into a person. And how many of you have watched cats staring at things you can't see? I had a cat that used to do that. We knew we had a ghost in this one house we were living in when my husband was in Vietnam. And he'd sit at the bottom of the steps, staring up the steps with that tail flicking back and forth, like they do when they're watching something. And I'd say, "Oh, Boots, go catch a mouse or something. Stop it." But they can see energy that we can't see.
My cat's always looking at crazy things that I don't see. And his eyes are going in and out like a snake with the slits.
Yeah, that's what makes cats different than all the other cats. They've got some magical properties to them. But
you mean from all the other dogs? You said that's what makes cats different from all the other cats.
Yeah, all the other
animals?
Feline species, tigers and lions don't have
true.
that. Or, so if you're somewhere and a cat really enjoys coming up to you, you should feel like you are...
Got some good energy.
Yeah, you got good energy. You're special.
Although I don't believe that dogs can't sense that stuff too.
They sense it in a different way though.
I just left a brand new McDonald's and I have to show you the play place because it is actually going to blow your mind. Remember being a kid going to a birthday party at McDonald's, or maybe your mom would just take you for an hour? It was the best, but I feel like those days are done, and let me show you why. Yeah, 2 screens, 2 chairs, and whatever the hell that pole thing was.
That is soul sucking.
Maybe we should open our own play place and just put 1 screen and a chair and call it a play place.
Yeah.
One kid could play with himself.
I was just saying, as we were watching that, McDonald's play place was lit. We had extravagant birthday parties there. There's something behind it though. Why is everything so gray and dull and boring? They are trying to just take that,
suck the life from you.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks guys for hanging out with us and watching more of our strange, unusual content. If you like these videos and you want more, check out our podcast too, To the Spirit. And if you have any videos or anything that you want to discuss with us, you can email us at tothespiritpod@gmail.com. But thanks again. Appreciate it. Like, follow, subscribe. And until next time.